cover as Missouri Valley foes is underway as the Braves control the tip.
Two of the younger teams in the Valley. Obviously, they've called this season the movement for Bradley, as some of those freshmen and sophomores are starting to see a lot of minutes and really get into that more experienced role. And Valpo with a nice mix of two seniors, led by Tavon Walker, of course, at point, but also with the sophomore and freshman in the starting lineup as well.
Great pass to Barr, who was cutting in, but had it poked and stolen away by Tavon Walker, the senior out of Montreal. Actually declared for the draft a year ago and then didn't hire an agent, ultimately opted back into Valpo for his senior year. And he leads the team with now 24 steals after that one against Barr. Bounce pass, miscommunication. D'Lo always on the floor. Gets the possession for the Braves, and Thomas to walk it up. Hesitation, Drillotic in his second year as the head man at Valpo, a tremendous player in the state of Illinois at New Trier. Went on to star at Stanford as well. As Jaden Hodgson goes opposite the ball screen and is bumped on his more aggressive, trying to turn you over a little bit more as we've seen early on. So as you alluded to, Stu, in the open about taking care of the basketball, good fundamentals, certainly they're a key every night, but especially a night like tonight.
Valpo going to be really active with their hands and way up into you defensively. So for Bradley, if they can just get their shoulders.
Thomas is knocking down those jumpers from mid-range, and the Braves out to a 2-0 lead. The nation's 9th-ranked defense are the Bradley Braves. Coming into tonight's action, allowed just 53 against Northern Iowa again on Sunday. As D'Lo tried to draw the charge, the Braves still coax a stop anyway. And Thomas will bring it up, gives to Hodgson. Lotio Ganleye, the junior out of London, gives to Darrell Brown Jr., averaging near 20 over his last 4 contests. D'Lo, one-handed pass to Bard, finds him anyway after, hey, it's 2 points.
Really nice play by Koch Barr, sticking with it, using his body, getting there for a good angle on the layup.
Yeah, good concentration after the tip pass, and as you mentioned, able to lay it in nicely by Koch Barr, the sophomore out of South Sudan. They're swinging around the horn and said Sorolla. They finally do. Here's Bakari Evelyn, the sophomore, redshirt variety out of Detroit. Left wing 3 is off the mark. Valparaiso does not shoot the three-point ball at a high percentage. In fact, they're dead last in the Valley coming into tonight. D'Lo underneath the hoop, kicks it back out. Thomas drives in, got space, and good.
Really nice, confident move from Dante Thomas. A move I don't know that he would have made last year as a junior, but as a senior, he stepped up. He's been really consistent this year. 8.5 points, 6 rebounds. He's made big plays throughout the year, and so he's off to a nice start tonight.
6 points, 10 rebounds for Thomas against Northern Iowa on Sunday. Off the double screen, Walker tries to shovel it down low, blocked out of there by Thomas, who is straight up. D'Lo splits a pair of defenders. Caught underneath the hoop, needs help, finds Thomas, and he wisely pulls it out. Finds Barr on the short baseline, back to the basket, has it.
Defensively, you've seen they've had some guys getting beat, but the secondary and even the tertiary help that comes in to block shots is really impressive.
Childs on the an inside game early, which will certainly pay dividends from the perimeter if they continue this pace out to an 8-0 run. Bradley a perfect 7-0 at home here at Carver this year as Walker nearly traveled. Right side, McMillan, nowhere close, and another stop by the Braves and one and done. Here comes Brown. Let's see if he tries to get started. He does!
Rebounding. When you can play defense like that, it makes offense a little bit easier, and certainly shooting 5 for 5 to start from the field helps.
And there's a good shot on a play. And this crowd finally sits down. They were getting tired from standing up so long as they do at the beginning of every contest before the opponent's first point. Eli Childs does what he does and keeps the possession alive for the Braves, who finds Van Bray, and a good look. Just couldn't get it to drop, and Walker the rebound, and quickly the other way for the Crusaders.
We've talked about the quality depth for Bradley, certainly with 3 subs already after the first media.
Off the bench, and rightfully so, that was their strength. Valparaiso's got, Childs sends that one into a 3-on-2 for the Braves. We'll get back to that point in just a second as Brown comes up empty, but Valpo also will go deep to their bench, especially with, you talked about the injuries, illness, suspension, so on and so forth. So still searching from the state of Illinois.
Local Central Illinois product from Washington High School, just up the road.
Lotier Ogunleye finds Childs. The hands of Darrell Brown Jr. back to Childs. He can hit it from there. And not this time, however. Hit a step back three during Bradley's 22-3 run on Sunday. Right wing for Bradford, who just checked in as well. Back to Walker, who's got the lone 3 points for the Crusaders. We'll try Bradford. He's just 27. Quite a bit of them, but he knocks that one down from distance. And just like that, Valpo on a 6-0 run cuts their deficit to 5. Canal to Childs. Free throw line jumper is off. Again is there. One of the better rebounding guards you'll see, and he gives of the night, and the Braves reopen an 8-point lead.
One of the stats that's always talked about is second chance points. That's almost even more important than a second chance point because D'Lo just outworked everybody on the floor. That was a gutty effort to keep the ball alive, and you give Luc Von Bray 2 open looks in a row. He's probably going to knock down one of them.
Smits with the left-handed baby hook. He's probably tired of hearing this, but taking a page out of his dad's game. His dad, Rick Smits, the star and former All-Star of the Indiana Pacers, battled those Bulls teams in the 90s. I know I'm going to get you wrapped up in a 90s NBA reference, so I know you love that.
The Davis brothers, I love that Indiana team.
Dale Antonio, Jalen Rose, years are around, but has had experience coaching against Valparaiso during the Horizon League days too. So interesting trajectories of two excellent young coaches, and of course.
But you know, the Valley added something as well in Valparaiso with a really rich history. I think they bring a lot to the conference, and I think they're going to, despite their 0-2 start, they're going to settle in, and they're going to be someone to contend with throughout the year.
Brown hung up in the air and tried unders is Micah Bradford, the all-time leading scorer at Bradley Bourbonnais High School, not terribly far from here. Tries to step back and said bounce pass, and the short baseline jumper is in and out. Run down, however, by Max Joseph. Back to Smits. Flips underneath, and it was blocked by Barr, but a whistle.
To create the extra possession and now it's free throw line.
Martin Linson, a good rebound by Thomas to take it away from Joseph, and 1 of 2 at the line from Valparaiso. Slew of action going on in the Valley tonight. We'll make sure to keep you updated on scores, probably around halftime or so.
Valpo.
They go to Thomas, who's on, and that continues, and a good play, perfectly executed and drawn up out of the timeout.
Can't do it much better than that to get Dante isolated in front of the basket right out of the timeout.
Triple. Valpo now 3 of 5 from 3. Gets the ball screen. Hodgson lobs for Barr, who handles it. That was hit on his way up, and no call. Must have gotten all ball, and Bradford the other way. Right side driving in, finger roll is up and got the bounce, and just like that, the Crusaders now within 2.
That's a tough shot. Going away from your body into the lane was challenged. It was a tough shot.
Stepanovic, lob to Thomas in the post, skips it opposite corner. Cannell back to Barr. Good ball movement by the Braves. Barr looking to square up and said backs his defender, goes baseline, draws the double, and throws it away. And a touch foul on Stepanovic, probably not the worst, who scored the most recent floater, averaging 8 points per game, a transfer from North Idaho College. Bradford, good anticipation by Childs. Now the Braves to run out. They got room, and D'Lo. And Lotier Ogunleye, we've said all year long, and really his whole career, how he always welcomes that contact.
It's Valpo's 16th foul there, so Bradley is
contact, just 2 team fouls on Bradley, and the Braves pick up the pressure a little bit after the made free throw. Bradford to bring it up. We'll get the ball screen from Linson, run off nicely by Childs. Hodgson recovers, finds an open 3 for, and a 1 and done for Valparaiso once again. D'Lo goes opposite the screen, popping out his Childs top of the circle. On the upcut, here's Hodgson, curls over. Now D'Lo, pump fake on the floor, gives it, nice touch to Childs. And Stepanovic gets a deflection, keeps it alive.
The call fouls, which is what's happened here. They've probably had 5 of these fouls have been on the perimeter. Unable to convert the front end to the 1-and-1, but certainly something to watch as we conclude this half.
So missed the front end. crossing over and loose.
That certainly won't affect D'Lo at all. But he plays like that all the time. He's on the floor all the time. You saw that right there. Just really good ball defense. Coach Wardle talks a lot about guarding a yard one way or the other way, and D'Lo certainly able to do that with his chest there, creating the turnover.
Hodgson on the down screen gives the D'Lo. Thomas squares up. And a Hodgson off the ball screen, draws the double, hesitation, dribble, kick back out, and I think he stepped. Crusaders credit down 11-0 early on the road. A lot of times it's very difficult to get back in. They've done exactly that. A few threes that certainly hasn't hurt their cause either.
Yeah, you've knocked a couple of those threes down. Everything else, just your shoulders kind of drop and everybody relaxes a little bit.
Good box out by Child, sealed off D'Lo for the rebound. The Braves look to push the other way. Here's Hodgson, and an offensive foul.
The official saw, so you know that's the reward you get when you play that way as well. Sometimes you can induce that push off.
Evelyn gives to Joseph. He actually had the team high 13 against Missouri State. Denied at the rim this time. Into Thomas driving in, up no. Wanted the contact, didn't get the call. And quickly the Crusaders come the other way. Step back three is down. Bakari Evelyn, just a 34% three-point shooter. It's actually over the average though for the Crusaders, and Valpo's come all the way back to tie this one up.
Two really good possessions there. Great block by Dante, and then really nice job being vertical by Jay Cirillo on the last one.
Plays it in. Eli now with 4 points to go along with her rebound. Block as well for the freshman out of Kansas City. Joseph underneath, kicks it back out. Evelyn hit one a moment ago and hits again.
Valparaiso 5 for 9 from 3 to start the game.
Good take by
a guard. You think you have a good look. Here's one of them to just alter your shot or to get a hand on it. So credit to Valpo for making some tough shots thus far and clinging on to the 1-point lead.
Good job by Hodger.
It's a nice play by Tavon Walker.
Joseph right side. Golder slipped. Here's to Evelyn. Joseph cut off nicely by Hodgson's. Got some space, kicks it back out. They had a look, but they went to Evelyn, who had the hot hand. Now 5 to shoot for the Crusaders. Driving in, teardrop is no good. Rebound is D'Lo. That's his 6th board already here in the half.
It's a great possession by both teams. Good ball move by the Crusaders and really sound defensive principles from Bradley.
Hands to Hodgson, does Childs in the corner. Thomas pump fake, crosses over, goes.
Play.
The Braves shooting 50% from the floor. They're right at their season average from 3. 0 here at home, 9 straight going back to last year, longest since 2006 of consecutive wins here at Carver. Second one is deadline this year. That's an area in his game that he has improved over the years. And the Braves as a team, I know hasn't been all that great tonight. They've been much better at the foul line in recent games. They've raised their percentage quite a bit in the last half dozen games as they show zone on this trip.
Zone, dumping it off to Solero with a chance for 2.
He's now 9 of 30, shooting 69%. 6.5 to go. Hodgson chooses the screen from Thomas, picks up his dribble up top to Von Bray, who's got a 3 in this ball game. Gives to Lotier Ogunleye, who's been active as always on both ends of the floor. Cannell goes right side, pushes off his.
Kudos to him for drawing the offensive foul, but again, I think that's more indicative of how they play. Tough break for Cannell.
Hazen, the freshman out of Columbia City, into the ball game again. Right-handed finger roll rolls off. 2 from the line. Next,
they work on it every day, but is an improvement for the team. For them to already be in the double bonus is something that's very important these last 6 minutes.
Again, they've done a good job of they're calling it tight around the rim, so the Braves are taking it to the basket, trying to draw the contact. And he's just a scorer off the bench, averaging 8 points per game, the sophomore out of Portland, Oregon. And Stepan
basketball and can really create some passing lanes, but it also can be tough if you get yourself caught in an odd position underneath the basket.
Yeah, they've used that to have a lot of success at certain parts. Nate Cannell's been really good at it this year, too.
Yep.
Just didn't fly on that trip down. Shot off the mark. Saved in, however, goes right to DB. He's going to try to run with it right side of the lane. Hangs up and missed it at the rim. Thomas fighting for it. He had it blocked, and the rebound goes to Evelyn. Quickly knifes his way in, flips it out. Spinning in Golder, and you can't do that. That's too many steps. Yeah, without question, just a little bit tighter at the rim, and the Braves have done a good job being aggressive, going to the basket, knowing just that. Brown, free throw line extended on the left, waits for the screen from Barr, gets the double team up top to Lotier Ogunleye, dumped down low in the lane. Here's Barr, and he shuffled his
physicality. Koch dragged his pivot foot a little bit there, but good position and to use his physicality to create the turnover. It was a nice defensive play.
Driving opposite the screen and nearly threw it down, but Childs got in the way of that. Lotier Ogunleye with a man down. Childs in the corner. Brown right wing, and they'll swing it to D'Lo. D'Lo's got space, cutting in. Barr with the left and good on that trip.
D'Lo's he's gotten so much better at that pass off of the pick and roll there, and Koch's hands have gotten a lot better this year as well.
Additional statistics are backed up by the advanced metrics of guys like Childs and Thomas, and just how good they have been this year. It's the second time we've seen him do that out of a timeout, knock down a three, and Valpo reclaims a 2-point lead.
Senior does not want to start conference 0-3. He knows how important that is. That was a good look from the top of the key.
Brown skips it to Thomas. He tries to answer. In and out. Look. Golder drives baseline. Bounce pass to a cutting Linson for Valpo at 4.
Golder coming off the bench has made a very big impact. That was a nice drive and dump down there. And for Bradley, the key so far to the game has been Valparaiso's three-point shooting, which has been a strength of Bradley's all year. So that'll be a key point to watch in the second half. Will that hot shooting continue, or will they fall back to the norm of what Bradley's done all year and guarding the three very well?
Good cleanup by and Thomas, who's been incredibly active here in the half, now has 11, along with 7 rebounds.
He's been the difference maker so far for the Braves, and he's been consistent all year, so it's nice to see him getting some points early on as well to go with what he's done defensively and on the boards all year.
Lobbed ahead for Child, just over the outstretched fingertips of Linson. Finds D'Lo. 6'6", again out of Portland, Oregon. Assist.
For Bradley at over 14 points a game has been held relatively quiet today. He hit the early three, has not scored since then, but we've seen that out of Darryl all year, where he'll go quiet for a little stretch from a point scoring standpoint, and the next thing you know, he ends up with 17.
Well, there you go. And 5 does have 3 assists here in the half as well.
He's just been really consistent all year. He won't get rattled, and I don't think he thinks about his personal stats, and just takes the game as it comes to him, whether that's driving and dishing or pulling up. It was a nice shot there.
Who struggled at the line at just 48%, particularly well, at least at this junction in the year. Now he's at his average 1 of 2.
It is a 40-minute game, and I don't think you'll see a lot of adjustments out of either of these two teams at halftime.
Couldn't agree more. High school, Memphis, Tennessee. All-time leading scorer at that program, and the leading scorer here for the Braves in both his freshman and now sophomore campaigns. Left wing trying a 3 is Golder, left short, and that's a great rebounding effort from D'Lo, and Wolf called from behind on Joseph, and D'Lo picks up his dribble. Find Brown, same spot again. This time no. And rebound for 1 by Joseph. Right side, Bradford glides in and blocked by Koch. Ball. Back to that whole idea of committee and team defense. That guard always trusts the perimeter player to by Golder.
Oh, man.
And fired up emphatically at the Bradley bench. And Valpo by 3. Cannell out to Thomas, Stepanovic, Brown. There's about a 4-second differential, shot clock to game clock. Thomas on the low block, double team, finds Nate. Let's see if he can get going. He can.
Yeah, that was an unbelievable dunk. Got really fired up, and then a nice response by Bradley, not to let that get in your head, but to come out. Great kick by Dante, and Nate's been making those shots all year.
Evelyn off the mark, and Stepanovic clears out his defense.
Stretch of this game.
Evelyn will hand it off right side. Up top at the Crusaders, 2 possess. Out of the intermission, 2-5 this year on the road, and a good first. Valpo as Devon Walker lays one in. He's now in double figures with 11, averaging 16 this year. Part of the All-Horizon League defensive team last year, but he sure can flash it on offense as well.
And we talked about the quality youth of both these teams, 2 of the younger teams in the Valley, but it's the seniors making a difference thus far. Cannell in for Hodgson, and the freshman Elijah Childs in for Kochbar on the interior.
And we'll see that quite a bit with Bradley due to that depth. Is you'll see a lot of times the starters in the second half be a little bit different, but a little bit more by ear based on how that first half dictates. Walker right side, Evelyn looking to post up Soroya. Do apologize, I know I was calling him Sorolla in the first half. Too good of a player to mess up his name. That's the 7th turnover on the day for Valparaiso, and that kind of plays true. They forced 10, they've turned it over 7 times. They're a group that does a little bit of both because of that pressure and up and down style. Childs at the elbow. Free throw line jumper is well short.
Though challenging that, Elijah a little hesitant, but that is a shot that he can make and has been making all year.
Really added to his game and added the 3-pointer to his repertoire. Not that he shoots them in bulk, however, has been a threat from there. 5 for 9 from 3 this year, and certainly capable of making the shot you just saw. Just didn't knock it down. D'Lo knifes his way in, lost it, flips it, however, 2. Lays it in, and we're tied at 35. And again, a good job by Lotier Ogunleye to facilitate.
A really good ball movement. Cannell had a look at a deep 3 there, one we've seen him take in the past, but swung it to D'Lo, again, using his physicality and his strength to go in hard. Fumbles the ball a little bit, but nice vision and way to stay with it and get Mitchell Childs.
And 4 rebounds. He is a 61% foul shooter, as I referenced earlier, a team-high 13 against Missouri State.
A good hard drive there by Joseph. We talk a lot about how, when you go hard and you go aggressive, as upperclassmen tend to do, you get more of those foul calls.
Brown way off the mark. Cannell, he'll try this time. And that one
really well, but when you're constantly moving like that, it sure looks like you're holding them. A point of emphasis this year, I think, amongst officials. I've seen way more of that called this year than I have in recent past.
Evelyn guarded by Brown. Walks it up top of the circle with the left hand. Gives to Joseph, drives, and Cannell stayed with him the entire way, forces the turnover. Up ahead to Lotier Ogunleye. Short baseline, Thomas. Pulls it back out, gives to Brown right wing. Braves give to Cannell, drives in, and he...
You want to do, and now, you don't see any of that anymore. And so it's almost like... which, as you shouldn't, this isn't 6th grade basketball. On the other hand, I don't know, they call it so frequently, it's hard to know.
Emphasis, especially in this game. That's the 4th foul on McMillan as well. So left to head to the bench for an extended period of time, it would appear, as Dale Brown Jr. knocks down a jumper from the right wing. And Walker will glide in, and Ogunleye, Brown, top of the circle, gets the high ball screen from Barr, who rolls with it. Behind the back dribble, Brown knifes in, finds a cutting D'Lo, who lays it in. Done.
Great pass, great cut by D'Lo. Darrell keeping control of the ball again. Once you get inside, D'Lo cutting as everyone turns to look at them, a special player for the Braves this year.
Soroya tonight came in averaging just shade under 5 points per game. They don't seem to lose a lot down low when they go to their bench and transition in and out from a guy like Smits.
This will be a big rebounding stretch for the Braves here.
Lotier Ogunleye trying to get it in, does to Barr. Watch out from behind. He's in the lane, puts it on the floor, and a nice take.
Last year goes to show you, even the catch was a nice play as he had pressure there coming from Joseph.
Good find underneath the Smits. Reverse layup. Braves catch a break. Let's see if they can take advantage. Brown behind the back dribble. Gets the staggered double ball screen. Goes around. Hodgson will bring it up. Sophomore from Australia gives to Lotier Ogunleye. Flip over to Brown, gets the ball screen from Barr. Brown has the double, goes underneath, kicks it opposite corner. Hodgson. Rebound being battled for and comes up by the Crusaders. Walker right side, 3 off the mark from wrestled away by Barr with his second board of the evening. D'Lo, he'll get the double ball screen. Hesitation dribble. Blows by his defender. Look.
Chance to shoot an unimpeded basket, all the better.
That's a Bray who's got 5.
Really good recognition. I'm always stunned at how good Bradley is underneath out of bounds. More so just
over the outstretched fingertips of Barr.
The first 10-15 seconds of the shot clock, and the first good look you get, or first time you can go to the basket, go ahead and go hard.
And that was a philosophy that was certainly implored on Sunday for the Braves against UNI. Same thing again tonight, and you're going to see.
As we mentioned, 14 minutes ago in this game, and Bradley shooting 1-and-1 with a chance to add to the lead.
First free throws of the night, and then Tavon Walker also. Both have players have a good effort from him so far this evening.
Yeah, he's matched the Crusaders' frontline physicality very well, able to secure several rebounds and impact a lot of shots defensively, and the points are certainly a bonus for the Braves.
Evelyn, who had a very strong first half for the Crusaders, gets the friendly bounce.
Tough shot. We haven't seen him shoot a lot, but he's making them when he's putting them up.
Averages over 10 points per game. Good on the pick and roll, and Barr with nice touch.
Such a good pass by Darryl. Again, when you talk about him on your whiteboard, if you're Valpo, you want to limit his scoring, but he's very patient and really good on that pick and roll and the dump down.
Great answer for the Crusaders. Barr again working on the ball screen. This time for D'Lo, beats his defender to the ground, but a great finish by the junior. Back to a 5-point lead for the Braves. Intensity starting to pick up here in the second half. Right side, Bradford sidesteps, fires from 3 in and out, and the rebound by Barr. Crowd wanted a holding call, they don't get it. Lotier Ogunleye guarded by Bradford, and there's an offense.
Turn it over. Those don't kill you by any stretch. It's a dead ball foul, and Bradley's done a nice job protecting the ball, not letting Valpo get out and run after the turnovers that Valpo has been able to generate tonight.
They only have 1 point. To your point, they only have 1 point off of Bradley's turnover this evening. So just like you said, the Braves have done an excellent job minimizing the damage. Left wing for Lotier Ogunleye. Goes opposite the ball screen, cutting again as Barr. A deflection tipped out by Bradford, running the floor with it. Just inside the lane, floater well off the mark, follows his own shot, and that one bounces off as well.
Another really nice rebound by D'Lo.
Childs calling for it, receives the pass from Hodgson, back to the basket, backs in, kicks it in the corner, open 3 is a little bit short. Other wing for the Crusaders. Bradley by 5, 11 and a half to go. Evelyn with 8 points for Valparaiso. Crosses over on Childs, and is pretty much all of them. This is their 4th beginning of conference play, so they know what to expect coming into sort of a tough. Still plenty of time left, but going to hold off these 2 home wins and then that road win at SIU. Out of the timeout.
In the first just about 9 minutes of the second half is a lot. Really nice touch from the big man and to his offensive game. And as Bradley continues to feed him, I really expect big things for him the next 2 years on the offensive end.
He's already had a season high. His previous was 10 against Delaware mid-November. And in the second chance opportunity, pulling up from just inside the arc. Really physical battle underneath, and that's going to be a jump ball.
Tougher pull-up 16-footer instead of an open look at a 3. So I think Valpo placing the emphasis on going hard to the basket, but Bradley certainly still defending the 3 well this half.
Great back cut by Cannell, just couldn't finish, and I totally agree. Ran him off that 3-point line, and the Braves have been so good at closing out on the opposing players' best shooters all year long. Extra hesitation, gave an open look under. Barr heads to the bench for a blow. Again, already a season high. He's got a game high 12 points as well. Good defense so far on the sequence, one-on-one for Childs.
he knows what he's doing, certainly. That was enough for the official to...
Average is 16.2. And Valpo climbs within 4. Brown, pass intercepted, and quickly the other way of the Crusaders, weaving in and out. Right corner is Golder, and they're going to say straight up from Childs, missed again by Golder, and this time Delo's there to rip it away. Now the Braves have numbers. Delo shovels down. What a run by Lotier Ogunleye, and he rewards his big man. That'll get the crowd into it as well. Bradley up 6. Left side for Max Joseph, being guarded by Thomas, pulls up from the free throw line. Braves have come down and made a big shot. Valpo's been ready to answer that call.
That was a tough shot. Really mismatched on the guard on Dante Thomas, but moves his feet, stays with him, and Joseph just rises up, shoots over the top. Nice play.
The feed to Childs. Out to Cannell, quick trigger 3.
To use that left hand right in the shooting pocket, giving Cannell.
Third on the 4-point play, but still a big 3 from Cannell, and the Braves will drop back in the zone again, change things up. Give the Crusaders a different look. Pass to Evelyn on the seam, nearly traveled with it. Pump fake on Joseph, good help by Childs. Left wing 3, contested, and it finds Soroya. He can't finish out of
the stretch, but really good effort, as you mentioned, from both teams.
Brown will walk it up. Down screen for Cannell. They look for him. He pump fakes on a 3, and he's
out to 7. It's been back and forth. Both teams have had their runs. The middle basketball, they've been able to open this up to now.
On Sunday when he was 6 of 6. He's got 8 points, following up a 14.7 rebound performance against the Panthers on New Year's Eve. Back to the zone for the Braves. They go to the seam. Quick ball movement. Driving in is
Elijah there just a little bit too late with the kiss and adding the 3-point play. It was a nice play.
Brown, he might get an open look. Instead thinks better of it. On the pick and roll to Childs. Has got space underneath. And the 8 for Eli. Good help and show by Childs. They dump it off to Bradford. Back to Evelyn, guarded by Brown. Left side for Joseph. Finds Evelyn on the low block. Backing in is Smits. Turns baseline. And good deal of the lefties.
This is one of the few times, though, when I think it's a natural advantage for left-handers all the time, maybe unless you're being guarded by someone who's left-handed. So interesting to see those last 2 possessions.
Thomas had great position in his work on different rotations and combinations that have really worked, and I think that's also helped really trying to help separate themselves from the Crusaders here in the second half.
3-point and regress to the mean a little bit. They're 1 for 5 this half. Bradley shooting it at over 40% as a team this year has been a strength of theirs all year. Not shooting it particularly well tonight, so I would expect some free balls to start falling in these last 7 minutes.
We go back to the zone. We've seen them go to it.
It's a smart play. He went in hard. He had Koch off of his feet.
15 points. 5 of 13 shooting. 6-point lead for the Braves as the Crusaders will look to trap, but Cannell gives it away to Thomas. Back to Nate, and the Braves will reset near the timeline. And looks like some sort of 1-3-1 trap that the Crusaders have fallen into. And they'll skip it to Brown. They get the deflection, and they nearly get the steal. High flash for Barr. He'll set the screen from Cannell. Steps into a jumper and hits.
Really nice shot. It's a big shot for Cannell. Bradley going to fall back in the zone as well, so both teams mixing it up a little bit.
Bradford nearly slipped, able to maintain. Right side Walker, and they'll swing it around the horn. Evelyn on the high flash. There's Golder just inside the paint. Back out for Bradford. His 3 is down. Second 3 from Bradford again came in, just shooting 27% from beyond the arc, but he is a high volume shooter. He's got that confidence, and he knocks that one down. Good flash underneath the Thomas. 9th and 30th points in the paint tonight for the Braves, and they've really done well and dominated down low, and that continues with the Thomas bucket.
Great pass by Darryl Brown there along the baseline.
Shoot a pair, 64%. free throw shooter so far.
See if they can establish that defense.
Braves. Hodgson, always a calming presence bringing it up the court. Gives to Lotier Ogunleye, guarded by Bradford. Up top for Brown near the timeline. Here comes the ball screen from Dante Thomas. Brown goes opposite of it.
2-1 seems to be all the rage now, and you're doing it for a variety of purposes, but Darryl did a nice job of drawing the foul.
More pressure by the Braves. Drop back a little bit after on the inbounds. Brown will guard Bradford, who gets the screen from Smits. Barr shows, recovers, right side for Walker. Cut off by D'Lo, and that's a tremendous one-on-one defensive effort from Lotier Ogunleye to force the miss. The Braves collect the rebound. See if they can lob for Barr over his
Koch, and just as well for Koch effort. Good secondary help defense from Bradley as well, but that's an individual effort play to hedge hard and then get.
Like you mentioned, you have to show and kind of run that ball handler off, and then, like you mentioned, get back and recover. It's two parts every single time.
I think the record for Valpo is a little misleading. This has been a solid team of fun. Get some injuries pile up, and you kind of limp into Valley. Tonight, they will make some noise in the Valley the next 2 months.
Yeah, it's been a fun one so far, and I know the Braves have been trying to get to that that 70 mark.
No, I'm not sure you see it, but
that's a good feed, and
it might happen. It's a physicality, and was he coming into him? Tough to tell on that one, but good effort all around.
Lotier Ogunleye skips to Hodgson, thought about it and set entry past the Bar on the low block. Maneuvers in and can't finish off the glass. Other way, Evelyn steps into a three, and that's short. Hustle on the other end, and that's Lotier Ogunlaye's career-high 12th rebound. We talked a lot about Thomas, and justifiably.
Winners.
Again, Thomas, one of now 4 Braves in double digits, leads the way with 17. On the bench currently with 4 fouls. Barr has it. He's also been very good today with 14.6 rebounds. 3 to shoot. The Braves got to go, and it's got to be Darryl Brown to create.
Consistent with the 14 points a game, but you never really know who else is going to step up and get the Crusaders underneath and gets a loose ball foul and a point for Bradley simply by outworking everybody.
Yeah, absolutely, keeping plays alive and makes a pair there as Bradley gets to that 70-point mark.
Missed second one.
And Walker to Joseph. Blocked by Koch. Barr. Again, good help, and again, that committee, even if you do get beat, that these guards know that they have help right behind them, and it shows it again there. Jump pass to Hodgson. Braves up by 8, trying to extend it to double figures for the first time since the opening couple minutes. Brown crosses over and flips one up. No, Barr trying to clean a run out for Valpo. Walker all the way in, and
on that one.
And Walker got 21. That's a game high. And back to a 5-point game. The Crusaders continue to linger.
You want to go grab it, but a nice job by Jaden being strong with the ball and
with the basketball.
Gets a lot of hockey assists. A lot of confusion for the defense that leads to a pass that leads to the pass that scores.
And he makes a pair. A couple of big free throws from Hodgson. Splitting the defenders is Bradford. One-handed bounce pass and a foul. Yeah, that was a nice move.
To see that opportunity.
So Brown will bring it up. 5-point game. 2 minutes flat to go. They give to Thomas on the fade cut for Brown and a foul here. They've made 18 today. They get 19.
Feel like he's a little bit more of a threat from deep than Golder was, despite the is Evelyn there from 3.
He's made a couple tonight, both in the first half. Right wing, and Brown recognizing that, guards him out near the perimeter. Backing in is Smits, backs in middle, left-handed, no, and Thomas comes away with it. Approaching 90 seconds, and the Braves with a 7-point lead.
Watch the elbow here if you're Jaden. Again, we've seen that a couple times tonight. They get so far into you, just try to create space and get an offensive foul call on you.
Hodgson gives to Thomas, skipped up top. Brown inside the arc, backs up, drives in, and
just probably realized he was a little off balance, kept the ball in his hands a little longer, is able to draw the...
Watching, this group and how to win and be great at home. And you look at last game on Sunday, their opponent tonight winning.
Smart basketball players, tough basketball players, and that's the thing, is they understand how to play. They don't take bad shots, and they're not going to force three-pointers if they're not there. So while they haven't shot a ton tonight, it's because they haven't been available, and credit the Crusaders. If you can, if not, lower your head and go. They're battling the clock as well, and it's tough for Bradley to make that distinction. Do we want to give him a three, or do we want to foul him?
And they kick it back out. Bradford off the mark this time. And a foul on Motier Ogunleye. Point game, more pressure, denying the inbounds pass by the Crusaders, and a good watch and camera on the baseline, and a foul as the ball was being inbounded on. And then home against SIU. Cannell out, gives Valpo life. Still a three-possession game, and Joseph brings it up. Stutter step dribble, tries to get by Cannell, spins in and hangs up in the air. Couldn't get it to go, and Cannell the rebound. And he's fouled.
If he can't make up for those last two.
Around 33% from the floor, and while the Braves done a great job defending anything inside of that as well all game long. Walker draws the double team, floats one up, no call this time, and D'Lo has it, and let's see.